there's a part of me that kind of thinks, oh, come on. Everybody was trying their best, surely. The fact that we got such high numbers out should be commended in some cases. Of course, you know, there are people that very tragically we didn't manage to get out. But there are many people also that will watch this and say, you know, it was a very tricky situation and the best was done.
I mean, it certainly was a tricky situation, but it was also, by all accounts, absolute chaos. I think you're right. What the report today shows is damning, but sadly, it's not surprising. We knew that Dominic Raab and other key officials had decided to take long holidays. I don't think if you really knew what was going on the ground, it's not good enough just to say, oh, well, it all happened a bit more quickly than we were expecting. It's their job to know these things, and they should have been able to predict. And yet, working from home's one thing, but just being on holiday, I don't think that's good enough when you're in charge of kind of global crises like this.
So they're not allowed to go on holiday if you're in charge of global crises, or that a global crisis might erupt at any given time. Does that mean no one gets holiday?
But something like this evacuation of Afghanistan, you know, we did know the date that the American troops were going to withdraw. That had been announced. This wasn't entirely unpredictable. And actually, you know, call me hard, call me a horrible person, but I do think if you've got major responsibilities for people's lives at the end of the day, no, frankly, it's not good enough just to say you're on holiday. You know, people do cut holidays short at all times. Now, that's sad. That's unfortunate for people and their families. You know, maybe I'm being very, very hard about this, but actually I think when you're talking about people's lives, when you're talking about major international crises, just saying, well, I'm on holiday and my holiday is important is not good enough, quite frankly. My concern is that this does speak to a much deeper malaise within the civil service, that there has been this attitude of, well, I'll count down my hours, I'll stick to my job description. Working from home means I can get my Peloton and I can get on my exercise bike in between meetings. And actually, these people are running the country. They're responsible for people's lives, not just in Afghanistan, but more fundamentally here at home as well. And it's not good enough for them to have this kind of clock-watching attitude. In the past, there was an attitude of public service, of a clues in the name. This is the civil service. They are civil servants. Now, it's not to say they shouldn't be rewarded. It's not to say they shouldn't have holidays. But I think we've lost this sense of public duty.